Josh Allen, he's NFL Neymar.
Yeah, he's rolling around crying. I mean, this is a joke, dude.
Hello, world, and welcome back to Gridiron Campbell, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ryan, and I'm joined by the entire collective, The Disciple, Brett Colson, Donnie, DP Peters, and the resident moose himself, Mo Nawara. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Listeners, rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. 5 stars only. Like Davis Mills, the Georgia product, Stanford Cardinal, was a 5-star quarterback prospect, and now the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. Oh my goodness. You know, I was pressing my buttons before we hit record. I got into a good rhythm of them not sticking. And then as soon as we hit the record button and I press them, I get nothing. What the hell? Okay, this is crazy. Bulls make that sound. They're currently trailing 6-0 against Brett's beloved.
The Bills make me wanna.
I've got under 44.5. Brett's got something to say.
Do the Bills even have a 4-star player? I swear, all of our best players went to scrub-ass schools.
What about Dion?
James Cook was 4-star for sure.
What about big
probably.
fat Dion Dawkins?
At Temple?
He went to Temple?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, 3-star.
Utah, Wyoming, all these, like,
he's from
Boise State, Shakir, all these guys went to scrub schools.
He's from Rahway, New Jersey. Mr. Dawkins. Amari Cooper was
No.
3-2 body blow for the collective last week. Your boy was the only one to submit an above 500 card at exactly 3-2. Mo was 2-2-1. Donnie and Brett were 2-3. Donnie, did I mush it? Am I the reason why these two jamokes couldn't put winners on the card?
Yes, hands down.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely deserve that Dolphins cover.
I put a winner on the card.
Yeah, you did put a winner on the card. I was juggling on the fly as to whether or not it was the collective or you two that got it wrong, and it was indeed the collective with Mo's Kansas City Chiefs, who starting to get late early out in Kansas City. Mo, you were at the game. We'll get into the games here in a second. It's a very wonky week with a lot of injuries and a tough capping week, personally. But Mo, you were at, like, I don't even know the name of it. It's not Mile High anymore. It's
Something and
crap
power.
bag. Some crap bag company sponsored stadium. Did you watch the end of the dynasty in person?
Maybe. I mean, it was not a fun game in some senses. It was a fun game in other senses. I really enjoyed the stadium and the fans. I told them that they weren't loud enough, but they were actually pretty loud. So that was nice to see. And the Chiefs didn't deserve it. So I just, all the metrics are telling us this team is just fine. So I'm sure that certain people may have read into that this week, but we'll see.
I'm sure you heard a lot of incomplete from the Bronco faithful. All right, let's get into split contests where there are 2 hosts on one side and 2 hosts on the other. And there's a game that is featured in every single member of the collective's top 5. It is Patriots at Bengals, and the big story with this game is whether or not Joe Burrow will be at quarterback for Cincinnati. 2 straight full practices this week. The most recent national reporting before this week was from Jay Glazer, who said that Burrow was targeting Thanksgiving and then walked it back and said Thanksgiving-ish, which I didn't know if it meant earlier or later, but it seems as if Joe Cool is gung-ho on playing football this week, and I don't know what's going to stop him from doing so. So the line, which was a It was a 5.5 look ahead. It actually opened at 7 or north of 7 in some places and has now dropped back down to 6.5. And Donnie and I are on the road favorites here. I'm especially interested in hearing Donnie's opinion because he's been shitting on Drake May, the presumed most valuable player in his beloved Patriots. But maybe he's just back. He's just Vrabel pilled, blinders on. Donnie's back.
Yeah, I mean, rule of ODB, don't be stubborn, boys and girls. I mean, how bad really is this Bengals defense? I mean, look, guys, seriously. Please explain to me how in the world the Bengals are going to hold them to sub 40. Please. Like, I would love to hear that argument because all they do is give up at least 27 points against every team. Now you have Drake May and this offense, which is humming coming into town. I mean, come on, they're going to hang a 40 burger on them. And then what's on the other side? Pat's defense plays well. Bengals offensive line is horrific. Pats have some pretty good corners that can mitigate, I wouldn't say shut down, but mitigate Chase and Higgins. And then you're either going to get what? Statue Joe Flacco or guy running around on one toe. Like what? So, I mean, if Joe Burrow gets in there, how long is he going to last? A week? Maybe? I mean, come on. This guy's gonna jump out of nowhere, hasn't played football in God knows how long, and he's just gonna come back in there and everyone's just gonna back the Bengals. And I hope he gets announced in. And I hope we get to pick them at like -6.5 when it's like -5 everywhere else. That would just be great. Okay.
And we don't even have to mitigate Jamar Chase because he mitigated himself by spitting on Jalen Ramsey and will be suspended for this game. So there's no Chase, the actual most important player on this football team. And Donnie's absolutely right. How are the Cincinnati Bengals going to show an absolute ounce of resistance on defense to the Patriots who are coming off of the mini bye? The Patriots who didn't even have to play a football game 10 days ago. They just had a walkthrough against the Jets where every time in a high leverage situation, it was just hot knife through butter. Somebody was just wide open for them to make a play. And the Bengals are just getting more injured. Trey Hendrickson is still DNP quit. Cam Taylor-Britt is now going to miss. Cam Sample is now going to miss. There's no cavalry coming. Everybody's gone. They've left the building. So I need someone to explain to me. We'll start with Mo. I need you to explain to me how the Bengals are going to play competitive football in this game.
Well, they have a very good professional quarterback coming back. So they face a not particularly good team, guys. Guys, the Patriots are -6.5 on the road, and they're not a particularly good team. So,
4th in net EPA. That's not good?
I understand. Yeah, congratulations. They got to play. This is like Alabama beating Mercer 51-0. I mean, what does that mean?
Well, yeah, and guess who they have this week? Bethune-Cookman. It's not like the Bengals are a good outfit.
They can at least score some points. I mean, why can't they score some points with Joe Burrow? And there's going to be energy in the building for this game now. Like, energy in the locker room. Like, the players are going to care.
Energy. Capping for NRG Stadium. That's where the Texans play.
So, Bengals +7. Just Joe Burrow's worth half a point or whatever this is. I mean,
I thought
come
it got
on.
to 9. I'm pretty sure it was 9 at one point.
Yeah, it was. I saw 8.5, 9. Like, and it's a weird middle ground too. So he's not even like once he fully gets announced in, if that does happen, which it seems like it's going to, then this is going to go even further.
But why would he be good at football if he has a 10-month injury or whatever, grade 3 turf toe that he's now just playing football on?
Yeah, and let's add in the fact that Chase isn't there, and he still has to go behind this offensive line. The offensive line did not change from when he got hurt to now. It is still the same shitbag offensive line that they are putting out there.
Why should we be scared of anything the Patriots are doing on defense?
Brett, get in here.
So I capped this for Flacco in hopes that he plays because I want the Bengals if Flacco plays. If Burrow plays, I don't know what the hell to do with this game. I think this is Burrow's, or I think this is Flacco's last shot, right? Like, this is his last game. This is his swan song. I think that's the guy I want to quarterback if I'm taking the Bengals in this spot. So if that changes, if Burrow does play, then I'm going to bump this out of my top 5 for sure. But that's the way I approach this, because the market movement is just, it confused me, honestly, because I don't know, did the look ahead bake in the potential that Burrow was going to play? I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what this line should be, honestly, because I don't know what Burrow is going to look like.
We move to Bucks at Rams, a tough road to hoe for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had to travel to Buffalo to take on Brett's Bills. Very tough physical game. Now they have to fly all the way to the West Coast to take on Mo, the best team in the NFL, perhaps, the Los Angeles Rams. Mo, once again, fading the Rams, +7, Tampa Bay in his top 5.
Yeah, I mean, who was better between Seahawks and Rams? 90% of the players, the Seahawks were better. One dipshit ruined it. So,
but that was predictive. That was predictive.
It can be. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Like, I'm not going to sit here and crown the Rams because they won by 2 when the other team threw 4 picks or whatever. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So, I think the Rams are still overvalued, and now Baker Mayfield is getting 7 points. So, I think give me that when he's facing a defense that isn't going to blitz him again, and the Bucs scored 32 points or whatever last week when Buffalo did what I said they were going to do, which was sit back and just let him do what he wanted. So I think the Rams are going to do much the same. They just lost one of their best defensive backs. So I just think this line is like a point too high. I mean, I just think, especially when you see the Rams coming off that game where everyone wants to crown them, like you dummy. So that makes me even more want to take the other side here.
DP Pylon, you two have Baker and them boys.
Yeah, but I'm not going to stand here like Mo is. I mean, I almost want to play devil's advocate to everything that he just said. Like, I agree that I think the line is probably a point too high, but like, I don't know how you can say the Rams are overrated. They're a really, really good team. Really good on both sides of the ball. They've beat some really good teams. Yeah, they've had a couple of mishaps during the season, but who hasn't? And I mean, this is a really tough spot for the Bucs overall. Now, the Bucs are also good, and I'm hoping that Jamel Dean can help slow down Puka Nacua. I mean, that's a chore in and of itself. I don't even know if that's even possible to happen. That guy's on absolute fire, and no one can cover that guy in the history. But if he can, maybe this is a little bit closer. You know, I don't know. I ultimately don't think the Rams are the type of team and play the type of style that they run away from things to cover 7. So I think this should be probably 5.5, 6 in that range, not a full touchdown. So that's where I'm at. But I'm also, it's kind of middle-ish to lower on my card, and I'm not going to be surprised if they win and cover the Rams, but you know, it feels high.
I've got this extremely low in the contest, as does Brett, and it's about the number, the full 7. I have a 6.5 minus 15 cents in my accounts before it went to 7. I'm very happy about that with the market movement. And I just think it's another brutal spot for a Bucs team that when they line up some cupcakes in the NFC South towards the end of the season, I think they'll mow them down. They'll be healthier. I still don't think we get Godwin or Irving in this game. So I think they'll just hold those guys out and just mow down their weaker competition and put a bow on the division. But this is just a gross spot after the Bills game. And what did we talk about last week where Matt Stafford struggles and did struggle against the Seahawks? It's getting pressure with 4. The Bucs are 21st in pressure rate despite blitzing at the 3rd highest rate in football. That is not a recipe for success against Matt Stafford. So I'm happy with the value that I have in real life. Holy bejesus, Josh just got himself killed. I think he just broke his hand. Josh Allen just broke his hand.
Shut up.
I think that's the thing that just happened.
So let me ask you, what's your concern level on Devontae Adams? Because he's not on the injury report. But, dude, oblique injuries usually last like a month. So, like, what's
Yeah,
going
but
on? Because
they
he
don't
wasn't
even use
effective
him.
last week.
They don't even use him until they get to the red zone, and then he just scores a touchdown. Like, that's just the way they use Devontae. Puka does everything between the 20s. Replay here. I think that might be broken wrist, broken hand, man. Boop, boop, boo. Josh just... Oh, man. Okay. Not fun. Not good. I'm feeling for Brett, but I'm also feeling for myself, my two biggest leagues. I'm going to get chopped in guillotine. Cool. Well, maybe he's up now. Maybe he's just being a wuss. But the way he landed. All right. We'll keep it on injury watch here on the show. The next game, I mean, welcome to week 12 of 2025. The Falcons travel to the Falcons travel to New Orleans, where the Saints are 2.5-point favorites with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. And it's because Michael Penix tore his ACL again. Brutal for the kid. Drake London will not play in this contest either. And one of the most shocking selections I've seen all year is Brett not only taking the Saints, but having them soft bubble his top 5. Brett, isn't this rule of backup quarterback look ahead of 3.5 to 2.5 something? Michael Penix being worth all these points?
Yeah, I struggled with that at first, but I think this really just comes down to a spot where I think Atlanta's just completely run out of gas. The Falcons have played 2 straight overtime games, one of them overseas, both heartbreaking losses, a lot of snaps for the defense. That defense last week, nowhere to be found in the second half and overtime. Bryce Young did whatever he wanted. So physically, emotionally, I think this has just been a brutal stretch for Atlanta, and it really just showed last week where they just let the Panthers back into the game and handed it to them on defense. Now they got to go on the road without their starting quarterback and their best wide receiver, their only receiver. Let's be honest. Like, is there a more important receiver to a team than Drake London? They have nobody else. And they're facing a Saints defense that's been, I think, far better than people will give them credit for. Like, they faced the second toughest schedule of opposing offenses and the toughest slate of quarterbacks in the league, and they're still top 20 in defense EPA and top 10 in rush success rate. And that's critical because they can load the box and take away the one good thing that Atlanta does well, and that's run the football. So that leaves Kirk to try and win this game, and I just don't trust him. I think that's where this gets really ugly for Atlanta. So as gross as it is to click the Saints minus, I just think this is a spot where Atlanta's just cooked.
Mo's over there nodding like someone who has been dying to put real American dollars on New Orleans and was just waiting for someone to tell him to do it.
I mean, yeah, this is a weird... I said before the start of the season that Drake London was one of the most important players when we were doing the preseason stuff because the lack of pass-catching options is egregious on this team. So, yeah, at the same time, I think Tyler Shuck is terrible. But, man, the Kirk Cousins tape has been as bad as it gets. Dude, is anybody worse than Kirk? He might just be done. I don't know what to do with this game, but everything is telling me that this is like roughly a fair line, but I'm still kind of wanting to bet the Saints because and everyone's on the Falcons, I guess. Like the ticket count is 70-something% on the Falcons. So everyone's just seeing Falcons plus that you can fade the Saints and clicking that, but I don't know if that's right, man.
DP, you've got the highest opinion on Atlanta.
Yeah, I really don't have much here, though. I ultimately just don't want to lay points with the Saints. That's where I'm at with this one. So, yeah, I mean, no London obviously sucks. Kirk sucks. So, I mean, I guess just give me the 2.5.
I've got an over 40.5 ticket in my account. Like the Saints are number 1 in situation neutral pace, and Kirk Cousins feels like a volatility quarterback in that he could either complete some splash plays to Darnell Mooney or the Saints could have some short fields. So I think there's going to be some sneaky points in this game. Inside total, I'm seeing 39 now. So market thinks I was an idiot for getting that down. So I can see an angle for people looking up on Sunday and seeing some points being scored in this game. Speaking of a game, nobody has any opinion on. Hawks at Titans. The Seahawks are 13.5-point road favorites. And DP, believe it or not, you have the highest opinion on this entire game.
Cool.
Does anybody have any angle in this game?
No, other than this is just a decent spot for the Seahawks to get right, and they blow out bad teams. Like, move on.
If you want to bet this game, just bet Seahawks minus 17.5 parlayed with an alt under.
Little negative correlation parlay there. Love that. I came into this exercise thinking that Tennessee would be a fine click, and then I see that Io Manor has not practiced this week, and you're probably out there saying, why would something Elik Io Manor matter? And it's because there's literally nobody upright catching passes for the Titans. It is Chimere DK, and that's it now that Calvin Ridley is officially done for the season. So I don't even know how the back door would be open because I don't even know who Cam Ward would be throwing footballs to. So let's get away from this game as fast as possible and get to some lone wolves. I was admonished for the selection even before the podcast started because Mo texted the group and said there's a certain game where if anybody has an opinion on this, he's going to kick me in the nuts. Is that what I'm going to get? Because I have the Chicago Bears. I don't know if I put them as the last pick in my top 5 or if I purposely bubbled them so I would avoid the kick from Mo, but it's Bears minus 2.5 hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who themselves have some quarterback ambiguity because Aaron Rodgers broke a bone in his non-throwing hand. And like Joe Burrow, seems like he's on an absolute warpath to play in this game. Mason Rudolph would be the alternative. And I'm capping for Rodgers. I think this guy, Tomlin, is going to love the fact that his quarterback is just out there playing with a broken bone in his hand. I think he's going to get off on that. And I know Rodgers has been a bottom 10 quarterback this season. And now he's playing with a broken bone on the road. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. And I know all of the numbers are pointing towards the Bears being one of the luckiest teams in football, plus 16 in turnover differential, number 1 in turnover EPA. But at the end of the day, this still is a team that's 10th in offense EPA and having some success. And we know the Steelers are just going to roll out and do their thing. And I think they're susceptible to being thrown on. And I think Ben Johnson is going to be able to take advantage of that. So I think if one team is going to struggle to move the ball because their quarterback is hurt, and one team is going to be able to take advantage of a vanilla defense and have success, then I got to lay the 2.5, especially when the look ahead was 1.5. You're telling me I'm only getting a point of value when the quarterback is going to be playing with a broken bone in his hand? Brett, tell me why I'm wrong. You absolutely despise the 2025 Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I pick against them every week, and that's going really well for me right now. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, by the way. I love that. Not that that's an angle we should be playing, but I just love that he's trying to get back and play this football game. This game is great. This is the Voodoo Bowl, man. Like I said last week, Chicago is NFC Pittsburgh with all the luck that's gone their way and high leverage this season, and now they play Pittsburgh. This is amazing because something has to give. Chicago can't keep getting away with this. They actually did kind of outplay the Vikes last week, but Caleb was sloppy, and once again, they win the turnover battle by 2 and come away with a late field goal for the win. Chicago has played one team with a winning record this year. They got whacked by Detroit. I don't think any of us think the Steelers are very good, but they are a physical team. They can get to the quarterback. They might get Alex Highsmith back this week, limited in practice on Thursday, and that's big because Caleb is good at evading pressure and making plays out of the pocket, but he's also, I think he's run a bit above expectation there as well. And Caleb's sacks are worth more than the average sack because he takes a lot of risks back there. And if the Steelers can contain him, wrap him up, I think the Bears are going to find themselves in some really tough late down situation, potentially some turnover regression here. And when it comes down to it, just give me Mike Tomlin voodoo over any other voodoo out there. So yeah, I like the Steelers quite a bit.
DP Pylon, you two have Pittsburgh in your top 5.
Well, there is some reporting coming out recently about how the Steelers are switching up what they do on defense. So maybe Mike Tomlin finally had a light bulb go off in his head. Maybe, finally. I mean, not that I expect him to completely rework things on defense, but, you know, it is encouraging to see signs that he is able to get out of his ways. I think the Steelers have an advantage on both lines, how those match up. I honestly don't know what the hell the difference is between Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph. I mean, somebody tell me. I mean, Rodgers has been god-awful, so, like, what's the difference? I guess give me the guy who doesn't have a broken hand in one of his hands. I mean, you know, that seems fine. The Bears overall continue to just underwhelm me. I mean, I feel like I've been stuck watching this team a lot just based on some of our picks, and I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I know the headlining stuff is how lucky they're getting, and I mean, but that checks out with, like, when I watch them. I mean, Caleb's all over the place all the time. Like, I just don't really see it. I think the Steelers are enough competition, good enough defensively. Yeah, they do what they do, and they do what they do on offense, and they're not really going to go too far downfield and whatever. I don't know. But this feels like it should be 1.5, not 2.5. So I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm going to ride with the Steelers here, and I'm going to fade this Bears team. Listen, maybe this Bears team at the end of the day is just like, you know, the Vikings of the past, or even the Chiefs, which are getting some flack now, where they just won every close game ever. Maybe that's just how it's going to shake out for the Bears this year. But I kind of want to fade that too.
The positive for the Bears
I mean, that
is
was the Patriots for like 10 years too, by the way. But yeah,
the Bears are good at all the right things. Like, second in pass block win rate, 5th in run block win rate, similar good numbers in adjusted sack rate, 12th and 3rd in adjusted line yards. So, like, they're good at all the good things. They're also, on top of that, getting super lucky in these spots to actually win and cover. By the way, Josh Allen, he's NFL Neymar. That guy, when you guys see
I was
the
gonna
highlight,
say that shit. This shit is embarrassing, dude.
Dude, did you see when he hit the turf?
Yeah, he's rolling around crying, basically on the field,
literally,
like somebody shot
like when
him.
it happened,
I mean,
it was like
this is a joke, dude. I hope Josh Allen never wins a fucking meaningful game, dude. What an asshole!
He's pretty good at it, though.
I was like, there's no way this guy didn't break his hand or wrist on that play, the way he reacted from getting tackled. But now he's fine. It's just unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, I couldn't believe it last week when Brett turned his back on his guy, Jameis Winston, who did the damn thing, covered against the Packers, nearly won outright. And now I'm the only one back on Jameis, plus 10 in Detroit. It's low. Okay, I have 0 confidence points. It is low. But he just introduces so much variance that I can see a world where inside the Giants are down 2 touchdowns. Jameis scores the most meaningless touchdown at the end because he's continuing to chuck it. And the Giants get a cover. Again, no confidence points. I don't love it. But there's just something stinky about Campbell having to manage the game and call plays at the same time. Something is just a little bit off in Detroit. Nonetheless, DP is, of course, the highest on Detroit.
What's off about that?
They were.
I mean, this is a great bounce back spot for the Lions when they might just hang 50 on this other team, because that's what the Lions do. After bad losses, bad weeks, they come out and blow doors, and they don't slow down. And you know what? They can do it here by running the ball, because the Giants are freaking god-awful at stopping the run. So they might just line up and just run for 300 yards and call it a day.
This is all fair. If you're betting Detroit, we say this all the time in these spots. Just bet the alts. Find a minus 14.5. Find a minus 17.5. If you're going to bet Detroit, don't bet the minus 10. Bet something massive. And yeah, I could certainly see a world where that happens. So I'm not going to put up very much resistance. Just like I'm not going to put very much resistance in this game Panthers at Niners. I took the 7 points with the Panthers because the Niners can't stop anybody. Do I want to take Carolina off of a win? No, absolutely not. Do I want to take them all the way across the country? No. Do I think that Brock Purdy coming back looked like Brock Purdy and this Niners offense was humming last week and they might just absolutely shred this Carolina defense, which is 24th in EPA, defending the pass? Of course, this is in the range of outcomes. But this is just too good of a number, the full 7 getting with Carolina, for me to not click them in a contest. The one bet I do have in this game is I have over, I think I got 47.5 because every Niners game has to have a 5. From here on out, every total in every Niners game has to have a 5 next to it because the Niners can score 30 at the drop of a hat now that Purdy is back, and they can't stop anybody from scoring points. So I'm happy to have this over. DP once again on the other side with the Niners in his top 5.
I mean, do you want to back Bryce Young after throwing 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, looking like he's the fucking greatest thing in the world? Like, you want to do that too? I mean, listen, I'll give you that this 49ers defense is not that good. But I think we've seen plenty of times what happens with Bryce specifically when he's at home and Bryce when he's on the road. I mean, this Niners defense can get got, yes. They're still going to play their asses off and play super hard. And I'm not just going to be like, yeah, the Carolina offense is amazing. You mentioned Purdy. I mean, they got Purcell back too. That helped open up the offense. Kittle's on a freaking tear. We know what CMC can do. This Carolina defense cannot cover anyone. So they're going to score 1,000,000 points as far as I'm concerned. I mean, everything you said is why I'm on the 49ers here. Like, literally everything that you said. So I guess have your fun over there with your lone wolf.
Having zero fun. The rules of the game is you have to put an X next to a team, and I put an X next to it with zero volition. DP will keep it with you, and we'll keep it with a staple. Because you were laying the 3.5 points on the road with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, you guys know I love my Eagles. Come on. This Eagles defense is a problem right now. They are so good. And I imagine that unit is going to give Dak and this offense plenty of issues. And I know it's probably easy. I can already hear Mo saying it. Passing offense, passing offense, passing offense. I mean, okay, but that passing offense has to go against a really good defense. And on the other side, why can't the Eagles offense and passing offense do halfway decent against this horrible Dallas defense? I mean, Dallas's D has looked better in recent weeks. They played the Raiders last week, and then they had a bye before that, and they played the Cardinals before that. I mean, it's not like this team, like, that's deceptive to me. Like, yeah, they're playing a little bit better. They're playing shitty-ass teams, so of course they're going to look better and rank better and all that sort of stuff. This number is way too short. So let's go Eagles.
This was a game. I mean, every single person who has microphones, who touts, who says anything, has talked about betting the Cowboys this week, which is the exact reason why I put an X next to it and put it low. But that did not deter Mo nor Brett from putting it in their top 5. Mo, talk about them boys.
Yeah, Donnie's completely right. The Eagles are, I mean, the Dallas offense it's good, and the Eagles, Dallas's defense can only get stops against bad offenses. But guess what, guys? The Eagles are a bad offense. They suck. They have a bad quarterback, and they can't run the ball. And now their all-universe right tackle is out. So maybe the center, too. I mean, that guy who came in looked like a bum behind Jurgen. He was committing penalties. I didn't even watch that whole game, really, but I saw some not great play from that guy who came in behind Jurgen. So, yeah, I mean, this is an idiotic number. The problem is everyone knows it's an idiotic number. It's already 3. So, I mean, this is top 5 selection, I think.
Brett on the Mega Turbo Chalk as well in your top 5.
Yeah, I know. I know. But it's just wrong. Like this Eagles offense might be as broken as it's ever looked in the Hurts era. The rhythm that defined this team last year is just nowhere to be found. Like they can't string a single drive together. And now, as Mo said, without 2 offensive linemen, that's a big deal when your quarterback refuses to throw into tight windows. So the offense is obviously a big problem. Dallas's defense, yeah, it's starting to look a little competent again. The reinforcements have kind of changed the shape of this unit. Wilson, Quinnen Williams, Overshown, both safeties are active. So defense finally has some teeth for the first time in like months. So yeah, I like Dallas a lot here. I think I probably would have put this at the top of my card if it wasn't going to be the most chalky play of the week.
Yeah, got to keep your eyes out for Cam Jurgens. He's in the protocol. He was a limited participant today. So I think with a full tomorrow on Friday, he could get cleared for the game. True. But still, without Lane Johnson, this unit is not the same. And like you said, the return of both Overshown and the trade for Quinnen Williams has, I mean, in one game has made a massive difference. And of course, it is the Raiders, right? But Cowboys look good on defense. Let's see if they can replicate it again this week. Double sounder to close out DP's Lone Wolves as he's got the Jacksonville Jaguars laying 3 points on the road at the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, this is low. I don't really know what to say here other than I think the Jaguars can just run on this team. I think they look like they're kind of coming together. Jacoby Myers looks like he's gelling well with Lawrence. I don't know. I don't have much here at all. I don't think much of this Cardinals team. If you guys have a big opinion on the other side, by all means, take it.
Another Donnie pick in Brett's top 5. He's got the Cardinals.
Yeah, this to me is an undervalued Arizona team coming off a really stinky loss against a Jacksonville team that's being priced now like a contender. But Jacksonville, to me, has no business laying a full field goal on the road. Like 3 weeks ago, they were in Vegas, didn't even close -3 against the Raiders, a team that is clearly worse than the Cardinals to me. And now we're getting the same price on the road against a much better offense in a tougher place to play. I'm not sure enough has changed in a couple weeks to warrant that market sentiment. I think Arizona is going to be able to move the ball here. The Jaguars bottom 5 in pass defense success rate. They are the biggest pass funnel in the league. Mo will tell you who don't the Jaguars cover. They don't cover tight ends. Kelsey, Bowers shredded this defense, and now Trey McBride is next up. So I think Brissett is going to have another big week this week. His weapons have been fine outside of McBride, too. I mean, Michael Wilson had a monster game last week, so I think they're going to be okay. I capped this closer to a pick than -3, so I think this is wildly off, and the market is just too high on Jacksonville.
Cardinals were favorites on the look ahead, -1.5, and we know that's not baking in Kyler, right? Because he's on IR, so there's no right? There's no chance of return, right? So what is 4.5 points off of the Jags winning one football game by a lot? Like, yeah, they looked tremendous against the Chargers, no doubt. But that is a massive swing for a football team that is just okay. I mean, the biggest fear is what Donnie was saying for me, honestly. Like Liam Cohen, and Mo was on this early. Liam Cohen has been scheming it up in the running game, and Arizona definitely struggles defending the run. So it is. I'm worried about seeing these Jaguars running backs scamper for big ones, but I trust Jacoby. And like you said, the tight end funnel that the Jags have, Trey McBride is that guy. Trey McBride could do what Michael Wilson did last week, honestly, and have like 15 catches for damn near 200 yards. So I love the Cardinals as well, also appearing in my top 5. Mo is doing what Brett did last week, albeit not with the same amount of fervor, taking JJ McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings as they travel to the Vikings are getting 6.5 points. Mo, both of your Lone Wolves are low, but you have to pick up the shield nonetheless.
I don't know what to say here other than I initially capped this one very high, and then I took a closer look. And my concern here, I guess, is a very high-pressure defense playing against a quarterback that I just don't think is good under pressure, man. Every time I watch Jordan Love, the games where he struggles is basically when he doesn't get his feet set in the pocket. I think he's just a bad quarterback on the move. So if you can get him off his spot, I think it's going to be not ideal. That being said, man, it's really hard to overstate. Can we just rewind the clock real quick and just... Did he have an out-of-body experience against the Lions? Because other than that one game, he's literally been the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's literally at the bottom of the EPA, CPOE stuff. I'm baffled what happened in that game. If that player could come back, then I could see the Vikings covering this very easily. But he has been an abomination the last few weeks.
If I recall, I don't think he was just like the Bears game where he strung together a couple drives. JJ was still minus 0.16 EPA per play in that Lions game. So it was just like a couple of plays where he did the damn thing. But on the whole, he was horrific because he's been horrific all season. And the Vikings have had a ton of success, like they always do, blitzing and getting to the quarterback. But I think they've been a bit of a paper tiger against the run, which is why I think Josh Jacobs perhaps not playing, most likely not playing, is kind of annoying because I feel like if he was in there, I think the Packers could just kind of run straight and be okay in this game because they know the quarterback on the other side is just so bad. So the Packers snuck into my top 5 at the bottom. I think this should be 7, but it's just a week where I don't love a lot of things. And I think there's enough stink on the Packers where in a contest like this, even as bad as McCarthy has been, I don't know how many people are going to line up to lay this many points with the Packers. But then again, JJ has been that bad that people might just be happy selecting Green Bay. So not much resistance there. You're not going to get a lot of resistance on this last one here, which is going to get us out of the Lone Wolf segment. And it is your beloved Kansas City Chiefs playing host to the Indianapolis Colts. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites in the contest, and you're the only one to put an X next to Danny Dimes.
Yeah, this is the exact same game as last week, guys. Everyone in the world thinks the Chiefs are just have to win the game. So they have to be minus 3.5 against a team with a pulse that has a good passing offense. And Spagnuolo has been kind of bad this year. So, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a few points in the Chiefs' favor. One of them is that they have a history of limiting these very, very, very good running backs who are trucking everybody else in the league. It doesn't really matter what the Chiefs' numbers are, but they tend to do pretty good against these guys. And then just this defense has been way better at home. So, I could see the Chiefs rolling here. I could see them also losing because they just refuse to stop going out there and taking dumps on the field. So, your guess is as good as mine on this one.
This cap just comes down to what do bad quarterbacks do in Arrowhead? They crumble like a cookie. The Colts offense has feasted on the third easiest schedule in football so far. Now they have a very tough test going to Arrowhead. All that being said, I'm not the highest on this. Brett is, and Brett has it very low. So you can tell from the tenor of the three of us that we don't have a very strong opinion on Kansas City.
Yeah, for me, it's Daniel Jones on the road, and he's been a different quarterback on the road this year. 10 touchdowns, 2 picks at home, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the road, and now the injury, is that a thing? I don't know. Maybe I just keep getting sucked into this KC with their backs against the wall thing, but like maybe they're just bad. Maybe I'll just keep getting these games wrong, but like I I still believe in Mahomes and Reed in a spot like this at home where they really have to win to stay in the playoff hunt. So that's part of the cap for me. Embarrassed to say it, but I still think that's a thing.
Something must win.
I mean, they're right in that territory now.
Mo's got the Vikings and Colts. Donnie's got the Eagles and Jags. I've got the Bears, Giants, and Panthers. All right, guys. We're crawling on our hands and knees trying to get to the min cash. Let's put together another winning card.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
I am up first. I'm putting a split game on the card for a second consecutive week. And we are laying 6.5 points on the road against Joe Burrow with the New England Patriots. Let's go. Let's go leverage. I hope tomorrow Joe Burrow is announced as a starter. I hope this falls to 5. I will still happily lay the 6.5 against a guy who can't move, throwing to half of his elite receivers. Let's go, Pats. Mo, you're up next. You've got a home dog.
I've got the better passing offense, and Dallas plus 3.5 is that passing offense. And yeah, another thing, I didn't even say this before, but like, dude, this defense did a fine job against the Eagles last time these teams played. I understand that was week 1, but
it's also a fake game. Like, they stopped playing for like 2 hours.
The weirdest game.
Yeah.
Guys
You're
getting
going to have to
ejected
fade a
before
veto
the
for
play
like
started.
72 hours here, buddy.
All right, Mr. Vito, you're up next. And in true Donnie fashion, you are laying some wood.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. You're laying wood. I had to outdo you, and I had to lay more. -7, 49ers. Let's go.
Something Bryce Young off of 400 yards passing. All right, DP. All right, Brett. Bring us back to earth with a very collective selection.
Too many good quarterbacks. I got to bring it down a notch. I'm taking Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, this is very Drake May, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Woo, murderers row from the collective this week until this pick.
The collective chooses the Cleveland Browns.
The whole world knew it. Not wearing my watch, but we're doing the watch, Selly. Something Shadur Sanders is on the card. Look, people, they put a -4 next to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's it. That's the cap. That's the entire cap. Okay? The Las Vegas Raiders, this is just trenches on both sides of the ball. Everyone is going to be looking at the fact that Shadur Sanders is playing quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And nobody is going to be paying attention to the fact that the only good down lineman on both sides of the ball for the Raiders is Max Crosby. That's it. It's him and 9 clowns that play on the line. So if the Browns defense can travel, which unfortunately is something that it's kind of struggled to do, if the Browns defense can travel, we got to be able to stay within 4 points. Right? Mo?
I certainly hope so. I mean, the total in this game is like 37, and they put not only did they put a minus sign next to the Raiders' name, they put a minus sign with a number that's greater than 3. I mean, this Raiders team is atrocious, man. You can't be any worse This is one of the worst teams I have ever laid eyes on, and they're -4. And everyone thinks that it's justified because Shadur came in a spot where he was never, ever expecting to play pro football and face the Ravens defense, which is getting way healthier and better on the road with zero prep. Okay. So if he can do anything with an actual week of practice reps, you have two teams that are both awful, basically, but one of them has some things they do well, which the Browns have a very good running back and they have a very good defense. So good luck with the worst offensive line in the business blocking Myles Garrett. I shudder to think what is going to happen to Geno in this game.
The one stat everybody's floating around. Shadur Sanders, -34.8 CPOE, the second lowest, blah, 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 blah. But everybody knows this, and it's all baked into the number, and yet still, there are 83% of the handle is laying more than a field goal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Cool,
guys. Why did this move 2.5 points off the look ahead? We're talking about Dylan Gabriel, who we've been saying is the worst starting quarterback in the league for 2 months. Is Sanders worse? Are we sure? Like I don't understand this.
He is 100% worse.
How? I don't think it's possible.
No, two things. One, did you watch him play last week? And what Mo said is alarming to me. Now listen, I picked the freaking Browns and I agree with everything you guys are saying. The fact that he, in his wildest dreams, did not look an ounce prepared to play football when he is the backup is a bit alarming, okay? I mean, injuries happen. This is professional football. Like, at least have half a clue back there, Shadur. Come on, man.
Okay, let me just say, in Shadur's defense, I was listening to one of the pods this week, and they were saying basically he has like not taken a rep in practice this year.
Not one.
So
literally zero first-team reps.
Well, it looks like it.
This is his first week of being a pro football player, though.
I think Shadur can. I think he has a fine enough arm. Just make it easy. Get some one reads out here, right?
This is rule of coaches' numbers.
Yeah. Well,
call him up. Say, buddy, that guy with the tattoos, the white guy, Crosby, quadruple team him. I don't give a shit. No one else can do a damn thing on this defense.
Isn't that another thing
curious.
too? Just like coaches, like Stefanski actually has a clue.
Yes.
Carroll is done, man. I cannot believe how bad he is.
Yeah. The Raiders are horrendous. Horrendous at football, and they're -4. I can't with this line. There is one consensus game. Miss Brett just saw that live. Oh, buddy. Did he take it all the way back? Wow. Flag on the play, though.
So did.
Josh Allen pick 6, flag on the play. There is one consensus pick that did not make the card. For me, this plus, what is it 13.5 in the contest? I'm seeing 14s already in real life. 13.5 in the contest. This game, I don't know what to do with this number because the Jets defense was bottom 10 with Quinn Williams and Sauce Gardner. I fear that it is going to be bottom 3, bottom 2 without them. I'll say it again. The Patriots looked like they treated Thursday night last week like a scrimmage. They looked like they were out there in shorts, just like doing a walkthrough, and they were able to cover 10.5 with ease. On a down-to-down basis, they looked very, very, very sleepy. Very sleepy. But then every single third down and every single higher leverage situation, they got chunk plays and they got first downs. What are the Ravens going to do with Lamar and Derrick Henry against this Jets defense? I have my concerns. Where I don't have my concerns and where I do have real American dollars on the Jets team total over 14.5. I think the Jets are going to go out and score. in this game because everything that I'm seeing from an all 22 cut up perspective is guys are getting open for the Jets, and Justin Fields just can't complete forward passes in pro football. So I think Tyrod is going to meet the baseline necessary to make some throws, and I think the Jets offense is going to be okay in this game. The other thing is this offensive line, you're going to see a lot of grading, a lot of pressure ratings, even this adjusted sack rate, blaring red, 32 of 32. But the problem is all of these metrics don't have a time element to them. So when you're giving up sacks 3 seconds after the ball is snapped, you were getting the same demerit as if you gave up a sack 1 second after the ball was snapped. And I don't think it's indicative at all of the level of line play that the Jets are exhibiting. So I think they're going to be able to protect it. I think Tyrod's going to be able to make some throws. And to be honest, this just comes down to what's the Jets defense going to do? Are they able to get stops? Mo does. Mo's got the Jets. Mo thinks they will. He's got the Jets in his top 5.
Yeah, this is the one I thought you were 100% going to be on the other side. I never in a million years imagined. I would have laid minus 500 you were going to take the Ravens. But I think this is multiple points too high because of what you were saying kind of. So I'm with you that Tyrod, I think, could provide a boost to this offense, especially in a situation where you're expected to be behind and playing in a negative script, and especially on the road. But the other thing that I just keeps in my mind with this Ravens team is, when are they going to play a good game? Why should I believe the Ravens can beat somebody by double digits right now? Like, they came out 3 pretty unimpressive games since Lamar came back, man. Is Lamar going to get his head out of his ass? My fantasy teams want to know. You suck so far this year, man. Like, he came in, got a couple free touchdowns against the Dolphins from turnovers, and just like getting his ass kicked up and down the field basically by the Browns. I mean, took an entire half to get anything in gear basically against the Vikings. I need to see Lamar start dropping back and completing passes. This guy looks same as Josh Allen. He looks nowhere near MVP Lamar. So until I see that, I just cannot buy into this team laying this many points. The Ravens are getting treated like the Ravens of the last 2 years with some of these lines, and I just can't get behind it, man.
The other thing is, with this Burrow scuttlebutt, they have the Bengals on Sunday Night Football next week. Is there a chance that the Ravens are kind of peeking forward to a divisional matchup?
Isn't that Thursday?
Dun, dun, dun. I'm seeing 5. Oh, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. That's right. Wow.
Yeah. So it's even
Thanksgiving
shorter.
already. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
just get out of this game and get ready for Burrow.
they don't need to win by margin, right? These guys, they get nothing extra if they win by 1 or if they win by 21, right? So just get to Cincinnati healthy, get to Thursday healthy. I think that plays into this as well. So I'm happy with my Jets team total. 14 and a half in 2025. I mean, it's being priced like Fields is playing quarterback, like a guy who can't complete forward passes is playing quarterback. So I'm very happy with that. All right. Browns, Pats, Cowboys, Niners, Cardinals, as always. There could be tinkering. Friday is a big news day. A lot of injuries around the league. Pod next week. Follow at Gridiron Gamble if you want to get the final card. Shouts to my guy Jeff Drake. He said to add the lines when I post the tweet and not just the teams. Jeff, I'm going to do it just for you moving forward. Thanks for the feedback. All feedback is welcomed. bit.ly/Discord moves. Get all your feedback in there if you want. Live production meeting. Pod Wednesday next week? Tuesday next week? What are we doing?
As long as it's a drunk cast.
Drunk cast.
Buddy, you might be the only one who drinks anymore.
I'll crack one
how
open.
How do we do Tuesday?
How?
It's too
Well,
early.
you turn the
I mean, I can
microphone
do
on,
Wednesday.
you start talking.
I have literally no plans. Can anybody not do Wednesday?
What's the date?
It is
26th.
Yeah. Seeing nods.
I think
All
so.
right. Live production meeting adjourned. For now, again, follow at Gridiron Gamble, or it'll just pop up in your feed. You'll be getting up on Thursday. You'll have to go make that 2-hour trip to the place you really don't want to go to eat the food you really don't want to eat, but Gridiron Gamble is going to pop up in the feed and get you where you need to be. All right. Enjoy the football this weekend. Best of luck in your betting ventures. Peace. Out.